Hello. Hello. We are back. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I am definitely late today because I had to do some customer service type stuff. And for any of you who are business owners, you know, like customer service is like the most important thing ever. So I had to go, I'm moving my camera around. I know it's a little weird for you over on YouTube, but yeah, I had to go do some customer service stuff. So forgive me for being late, but we are back after a hiatus. We had to take a 1 week hiatus to get caught up. So now I know why they do this on television, because you got to get caught up on everything. We have scheduled out for the next 3 weeks. So excited about that, and had to take some time to do some promo campaigns because we have a few workshops and all kinds of other things going on. So just to give you some great news, so I am the newest content creator for Color Me World, which is a travel community. So excited about that. But let's go ahead and get started, because today we're talking about the cost of becoming a speaker. And this is Travel the World as a Speaker. I am your host, Phylecia Jones. Hey, I got multiple cameras, so that's why you see me doing some things. We're coming to you live from YouTube channel. You can go to our channel over at ifindUclothes.com/YouTube, or you can check the link in the bio here on Instagram, because we're coming live on Instagram as well. So you can come check us out. Now, here's the thing on Instagram. If you want to see any of the cool photos, any of the photos or any of the graphics that I have, you have to come and join us over here on YouTube. Now, typically this show blends two of the things I love, which is travel. As you can see behind me, I really do love to do the travel thing. And speaking is the thing that I do, is the company that I own. But I'm also a little sleepy because I had to go take a nap, and my hair is not doing well right now. So I don't know what's going on, but we're going to do our thing. Now, I usually give you a travel story, but I have to admit, I'm a little... my brain isn't in travel mode because I had to do customer service mode. So that's what we're going to talk about today, along with the cost of becoming a speaker. So for all of you who run a business, you kind of know how this works. It's just customer service. So got a distress email about 15 minutes before going live. And what I have learned is that when you are the owner, you are the customer service, and you need to jump on things like immediately. So I took the time to make sure that one of our members got exactly what they needed. So hopefully everything is going to work out. And, you know, I did my little thing, so I'll hear back from them to see if it solved their problem. All right, so with that means I did not have a travel story put in place for you, other than the best news is that I'm joining another travel community as a content creator. So really excited about that. And you're going to hear about that a little bit more later on this week, because we are doing our very first workshop with them, and it's how to make money on Gumroad. And if you've been following me, you already know how to do that. So we're going to be doing that with them. So really, really excited. I did have a filter on here on Instagram, but obviously my filter went away. So we're going to just go ahead and make myself look better. Why not? I mean, seriously, why wouldn't you want to look better here on the gram? I don't know which one I had. Oh, this is like really freaky. You know what? Because I'm feeling all hearts. No, I'm not feeling. Am I feeling hearty today? I don't know. Let's go ahead and get this winter thing going. Yeah, I don't know. See, the thing with Instagram, you know, my filter wasn't working. Now I can't get it to work. Oh, well. You're going to have to get me as is. Au natural. Woo, that au natural looks very natural these days. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the cost of becoming a speaker. I'm going to mentally get in the mood to train you, because one of the things that we talk about here is leveraging speaking so that you can travel the world. But what a lot of people will not tell you, what a lot of speakers won't admit to, is that it actually does cost money. And it's not so much the money of just staying on top of your craft. You got to spend that money. But it actually does cost you money to get on the road. That's why I have been so in love with virtual speaking right now, because This time you don't have to get on an airplane. You don't have to put on, buy some new Spanx. You don't have to buy a whole bunch of makeup. You just have to have better lighting, better than what I have at this moment. But it does cost money to actually get out there on the road. It doesn't matter if you're speaking for free. Now, I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. A lot of speakers do speak for free, and they will fund their own gigs. That means they will fund the air travel, they'll fund the hotel, the air travel, the food, and everything around it. Now, if a lot of people keep coming back to you, say, well, I don't do that for my speaking career, either they are very successful, they've been doing it for a long time, or they are fibbing. You can't call them straight up liars, can you? They're fibbing, or they are stretching the truth on how this actually works. Now, it depends on what. I'll just admit I'm in between. Sometimes I will fund my own travel. It depends on where I'm going and if it's worth it, because I do know how to convert from the stage. And sometimes I've made more money doing that than actually getting paid to speak. And I've also negotiated other things, travel, hotel, lodging, and I've had it compensated. So it all depends on what the situation is and if it is worthwhile in doing. So a lot of speakers do all of that. But what I want to really break down is that there is a cost to this. There's absolutely a cost to this. And you know what? We're just going to go ahead and just jump into it. So I'm going to go over to my main display. I brought up my notes section for you. For those of you on Instagram, you're going to have to come and join us over here at iFind You Clothes YouTube if you want to see what we got going on. Let me see if I can fix this over here on Instagram. Hey, I look very washed out. I look very tired. I didn't put on a lot of makeup today. Whew, it's been a day. All right, so when it comes to the cost of becoming a speaker, now I'm going to break down first. I probably should do this in 3 different areas. So let's actually do this. We're going to break down this cost into travel, because you'll have travel expenses. So we'll have travel, we'll have the cost of doing business, and then we will have training. So if we had to look at speaking and cost, these 3 areas are probably the biggest ones. And whichever order you want to put them in, but it's going to be doing business, training, and travel. That's it. Hey Joseph, how you doing over there on Instagram? We're talking about the cost of becoming a speaker. I actually have some graphics because we live stream here on Instagram and YouTube. So if you want to see the graphics, all you have to do is go and join us over at ifindyouclothes.com/YouTube. I'm actually going to try to type it in over here because typing while not being able to see is a gift. You have no idea. All right, ifindyouclothes.com/YouTube. Now, if I was smart, I would actually just turn on the voice thing, but you know what? Why would I make it that easy for myself? All right, so if you want to see the graphics, you got to come over here to ifindyouclothes.com/YouTube. Now, what we're talking about is the cost of becoming a speaker. And I've broken it down into 3 different categories for you to really pay attention to. It's going to be travel, because remember, we're talking about traveling the world as a speaker and leveraging speaking and your talents to get on stage. We're also going to talk about the cost of doing business and training. So if you had to look at the things that you'll be spending, those are the 3 major things. Now, let's talk just for speaking. Now, I'm only going to talk about just for speaking, not with, growing your business or anything like that. Just remember, those are additional costs as well. So let's just say you got a speaking gig at this amazing conference. It is your audience and you want to get on stage in front of them. It doesn't matter that you got to pay. It doesn't matter at all. You know you are going. So one of the first things is you got to start looking at how are you going to prepare yourself to get to this gig. So one, if you are not being compensated, and you're only being compensated with being able to get in front of that audience, you're going to have to start really budgeting in how much this is going to cost you. So the first thing is we have airfare. We have hotel, and you want to stay at the event hotel, okay? Now, I know a lot of people will say, let's go get a different hotel and we'll take the car and all that stuff. No. You know what? I need to do a whole show on why you should never stay at a different hotel outside of the event hotel. So you got to take care of your airfare, your hotel, and your food. Food, and I'm going to actually put down entertainment, because if you are in these places and you're making friends, you have to forgive my handwriting, you will be spending some money. So it all depends on how much the hotel cost is. You know, for some of the nicer hotels, you could be spending up to $120 a night. So let's go ahead and just kind of average this out. If we say 120, $30, you know, let's say $30 for food, and then let's throw in an extra, you know, $10 or $15 for entertainment. I have no who's doing the math there. Anybody doing the math? Okay, let me bring up a calculator so you can see what I'm doing. So we said $120 for a hotel, plus let's just say $25 for food. We'll say $25 for food plus $10. Let's say $15. Let's go ahead and average this up. So that is a possibility of about $160 per day. This is where we got to start doing the math on speaking, on the cost of speaking. Now, the business side of this is, you know what, flyers. You may need to get business cards. Let's say you have the cost of an assistant to help you convert people as soon as they come into your world. Whatever it is that you're paying for. I have actually hired people to help me just after I speak at an event, to just I take photos of like the names and everything that I'm handing out so that I can instantly send them to them so they can add it to my email list. Oh, I changed my thing. I changed my I changed my virtual pin, everybody. I know, is that a little that anal? So you gotta, whoever is helping you when it comes to assistant help. So the cost of doing business is that you have your flyers, you have your business cards, and you have your assistant help. And that could be whatever. You don't need all these things, but I'm just letting you know that these are particular costs you may have to incur. And and depending on how much this is, this could cost you up to $200 period. To get your flyers, your business cards, and the flyers are, things you're passing out to people while you're at a conference. And then, of course, I'm going to say the training. Now, not everybody is going to do any training, but you should do some training before you go and do a speaking gig. So you're going to do training. So I will always say sales, and that can be a book or course or class. Book, course, or class. Now, sales training can be very expensive if you're paying for coaching, to help you, coaching or consultant to help you with your talk. There's a lot of people who actually will hire somebody to help them not the day of, but to help, converting with that particular talk. Now, this range could be anywhere from like $50 up to a few thousand. So I will go ahead and put in, I'll be reasonable and put in $500. And you're probably saying, Phylecia, it never costs that much to speak, but the reality is that it could. It really could cost this much. So let's just say you have this perfect event. You're gonna convert people. It doesn't matter, but you got to spend the money for the airfare, the hotel, the food. That could be almost $160 a day. You have your flyers that you're passing out to everyone. You got brand new business cards because you don't want to go in all broken, dopey looking. You got somebody back home who is helping you, and some people actually do bring their assistants with them to help them out on the day of. So let's just say that's $200. I know that's on the very low end. And then you also have training. If you hired somebody to help you with converting for that event, you'd be surprised a lot of people do pay for this type of things. You don't have to pay for all of it, but it is safe to say that you could come out anywhere, let me just go do the math. Let's just say this is a 3-day conference that you're going to. All right, let's just say 160 times 3. You paid your assistant and you paid for some consulting. I did that wrong, but I got the number. You're looking at almost 1180, so almost $1,200. It could cost you almost $1,200 to go out and speak. Now, if you think I'm making this stuff up, I dare you to go out and find a friend that is a speaker and truly ask them, like when they have had to fund their own speaking opportunities, what has happened. And it doesn't matter if you're staying domestic, if you're flying international. Sometimes you can just be down the road. You'd be surprised how much money you can end up spending. Now, I'm not saying any of this to detract you from speaking. What I do want you to realize is that there's a reality check when it comes to speaking. Now, let's just say, like I said, you went and did you budgeted in. You estimated that your trip is going to cost you $1,200. That means you need to know exactly how much money you need to make or to convert so that when you come back home, this event didn't put you in a hole. That's how you have to really think, especially if you are using speaking to market yourself, or you're trying to use this to market yourself so that you can go travel, anything. You got to put down the estimated cost of what this event is going to be. Now, if you are doing other types of events and you already know, like off the top of your head, okay, this is going to cost me $1,200 just to do. Now we get in a better position of negotiating. And being honest, a lot of conferences, they're not going to negotiate with you. So you got to go in and do things very differently. Some will, some won't. But the thing is, you have to know how much you're putting up front for most of these events. You'll be surprised, about 80% of speakers that go to conferences are not getting paid. That it is what it is, And of course, if you guys got any questions, put them in the comment box. It is what it is, and that's okay. But as long as you got what you needed out of it. So if you go and you're spending this $1,200, make sure you are converting people into something. That's why I've been on you. If you have subscribed to my YouTube channel, I want you to go back and look at all of the things. I'll actually put them in playlists because I want you to have a product. I want you to be able to convert. I want you to be able to make this money because this $1,200, even if you're having to fund your own speaking, you can make this up so fast if you have everything in place. Now, and with some other conferences, if you already know that you have this in your head and you are good with the speaker coordinator, or if they ask you to come and speak, this is how we set ourselves up in the position to blah, 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 blah. Be able to speak, Phylecia, be able to speak. If somebody comes to you, you kind of do have the upper hand when it comes to, hey, Trixie, how you doing? When they come to you and ask you to speak, you have the upper hand in negotiating. Blah, blah, blah. I got that out finally. If they come to you and you already know in your head that it costs you just $1,200 to go and speak, period, no matter if you're paying, they're paying, whatever. Now, if they're asking you to come and speak, this is how you can put yourself into a position to negotiate. This is how you negotiate. So, you'll go back to them and say, oh my gosh, I really want to come to your event. And, I know you don't pay your speakers, but I'm flying all the way from California over to New York. Can you pay for my plane ticket and my hotel to help with some of these costs? Because remember, you came to me and said I was amazing. Or if you're traveling internationally, this is how you start negotiating. Now, if they didn't come to you, you're not in the best position to negotiate. But if somebody got on the phone and said, oh my gosh, Joseph, you're amazing. We want you to come and speak. This is how you start setting yourself up to negotiate, to being in a better position to get some of these costs reduced. All right. You want to get some of these costs really reduced when it comes to speaking. But I just wanted to give you just a little bit of what it actually may cost for you to speak. Now, there are a lot of other things that go into this because I know we didn't even go into some of the, we didn't really even go into some of the other things that can cost you money when it comes to speaking. So remember, we already got our help in here. So we want a photographer. If you are speaking local, you want to hire a photographer. Some people want to hire a videographer, and my pen just died on me. Um, a virtual pen can't die on you, can you? If you want to hire a videographer, that's going to cost you money as well. Do you need one for every gig? Not really. Not really. You're checking your calendar, Joseph? Yay. It's not going to cost you money all of the time, but these are just some of the things you have to think about when it comes to speaking. Even if you get paid, sometimes you still have to pay for all of this other stuff. And I have to let you know that even if you are being paid to come and speak, some of these things you have to pay for up front. Okay? You got to pay for some of these things up front. And I'm not here to judge. You know, I was a money coach for a very long time. There's no judgment, no shame on how you're managing your money. But if you are skating on a thin line when it comes to your credit cards, some of this stuff you're going to have to front the costs so that you can get a reimbursement. And what I really want you not to do is to find yourself in a financial hole. That's what we don't want to do. And sometimes it takes them, they can be a little interesting with how fast they pay you. So I just want you to remember this. I want you to remember all of this stuff. So even if you are getting paid, you may have to front load quite a bit of this cost. And if you're on a very thin line with your finances, something to be aware of. And some events, they're not going to pay you up front. They'll pay you maybe half. Depends on how your contract looks. They'll pay you a percentage, and then they'll pay you the rest when they're done or the day of. And then the travel costs will be reimbursed after you travel. So just things to remember. And for those of you who are using speaking to market your business and you go to a bunch of conferences because you know you can convert, great. I've done that and it really does work. It really does work. But don't be surprised if each conference comes out to about $1,200 to $2,000. And if you are not converting very well, it's time to put a pause on all of that, because you can quickly go into a financial hole just getting out there speaking. And what I've noticed with a lot of people, we want the fame, the likes, and all the cute photos to put on Instagram, but we don't have our funnels, we don't have our systems, we don't have our conversions, and we don't have our products in place for it to make sense. So before you go get on an airplane, I need you to make sure you have your products in place, your funnels in place, your discovery sessions in place, your systems in place, so that when you do go out and use speaking to market your business, all they have to do is opt in and everything will get into place. Let me know if that makes sense, all right? And this is just from somebody who's done this. You know, I've learned the hard way about all of this. I've learned how to get paid, how not to get paid, how to spend way too much money on speaking. And yeah, you'll get all the accolades and you're going to put in a lot of work, but I just want you to be realistic and not be surprised. This happens quite a bit from a lot of speakers who are definitely using speaking as a way to market. They will do a lot of these events and a lot of these conferences. They'll go hard for about a year or two. And then they realize, you know what? I actually just spent more money than what it was worth. And typically when you're in this situation, it is because your products aren't in place, your systems aren't in place. You don't have a good connection between how you're going to get people from the audience into your funnels. And also, you didn't even ask to be paid. You didn't even try to negotiate. That's where a lot of it comes from. Like I said, I was a speaker coordinator for two groups here in the Colorado area. And out of doing that for 4.5 years, I had one person that ever asked to be paid. Now, they made it very clear that we weren't going to pay any speakers. And a lot of speakers had no issues with that. They would spend their money. They would fly to us from all across the country. We've had people fly in from different countries as well. Everybody was fine with it. But what is surprising is that nobody ever asked except for one person. And when they did ask, we actually decided to pull together some money to pay. I'm not going to say it's going to work for you all the time, but if somebody really is impressed by you, they may go out on a limb and help you out. There are multiple ways to kind of get these costs reduced when you're out there speaking. All right, that's all I have for you. I got to go and check my customer service. That's why I was a bit late today, because I had a customer service emergency. Life of a business owner. Yay. And I took a nap right before I had to go do my customer service thing. So hopefully this was useful. If it was, leave a thumbs up, leave a happy face. If it wasn't useful, just don't do anything. No. Be sure to come over and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are on the roll to getting to 1,000. And of course, we have quite a few interesting topics coming up. Tomorrow, we're talking about how to leave a good first impression. I think this one's going to be good because I will just give you my perspective from when I was booking speakers on what was a good first impression and why I wanted to work with people going forward and why I would have booked them. I think that would be really good. That'll be fun. That'll be a fun show. I'll put on more makeup tomorrow. I do like tinted moisturizer. Anybody else do that? Yeah, and I'll have better lighting, and I'll have a better filter. I love all the people who say they don't like filters. I love filters. I've looked like myself for 40-some years. Let me look like somebody else for like 30 minutes. That's cool. All right, for my folks here on Instagram, thank you for hanging out. Joseph, Trixie, thank you. Thank you so very much. You all have an amazing evening. I will see you tomorrow. I'm not going to sing. All right, everybody here on YouTube. Oh, God. I can tell I was out for a week because my mouth is blah, 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 blah. Don't worry. I'm going to get back into the groove of things. Gosh, 1 week of not talking. It's a game changer. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Of course, if you need anything, you know where to find me. Take care of yourself.